We got Gucci, we got Prada, we got Tiffany, we got Hermes, and more at this estate sale over the weekend. Check it out. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going out to an estate sale. It's kind of an ugly day, but it looks like they had some great stuff in the online preview. So we're gonna go out, try and stand in line, hopefully it doesn't rain on us, and find some treasure. Let's do it. Okay, so I just got up to the estate sale and I'm about 2 hours early right now, and I'm still number 26 in line. They just put out the sign up sheet, so that's how I know my number, but I can't believe that many people are here that early. So obviously there's some good stuff here, and hopefully I'm not too far back in line to get some of the good stuff. So we'll see how this goes. Not a ton of clothing. These degree 7. These look old. Pass on them now. Giant Missouri 72.
Yes, no.
Little stole. Don't do fur. Look at these guys. I'd rock those. Minnesota Mint. Kind of cool, all kinds of different stuff. Ronnie's Angels. Ozark Music Festival. Another one, Ozark Music Festival. There's a bunch of Nixon pins and stuff in there. I'm gonna grab these. $3 a piece. Why not? That's pretty cool. Polo Ralph Lauren. Signed by James Dickinson. It's numbered 34 out of 300. It's stained right here in the corner though. That's a pretty cool piece. I might grab that. There's a couple more. Those are pretty cool ones too.
Got all 7 of them out. She goes, Debbie, oh no, if you find another one, we'll deal for 3. And I was like, no, I'm scared. I just take the same one. That's my little teacup.
Check out what I just pulled out of a drawer. That's nuts. I just found all these scarves in those drawers right there, and this is like my second pass through. Almost everybody's already left, so that's why you open stuff up. Okay, I didn't get what I came for. However, I am happy with what I got, so I'll show you everything when we get back home. Good morning. It is day number 2 of the estate sales for this weekend. Right now we are up in a place called The Lake. It's right on Lake Norman here in Charlotte, and apparently it's one of the higher end areas. I've never been up this way yet, so this is going to be a little bit of an experience, but judging by the houses, I can definitely say it does look more higher end than a lot of the places I've been so far. Yesterday we were at a place that was pretty high end as well, and we got some good stuff there, so hopefully today will be the same. But I got here 2 hours early, and I am 36 people back. So that should give you a good indication of how good those pictures looked. There are 35 people in front of me 2 hours before the sale opened. So hopefully we're not too far back and we're still able to find some good stuff. Okay, so a little update for you guys. We're about an hour before the sale. We got our official numbers now, number 40. Apparently the first list that we got put on was the early bird list, and that's where I got like number 36 or whatever. But apparently that list is like one started by whoever's like the first person in line for the sale. They start a list and then everybody signs it afterwards to then secure their spot to get their number, which secures their spot for the estate sale. Seems a little ridiculous and redundant and quite frankly kind of weird to me, having another like reseller organize the line to get into the line.
I don't know, it seems kind of weird. People were saying they got here at like 2 and 3 in the morning just to get their name on the list. Then they leave the entire like property and street of the estate sale, go home, you know, maybe take a nap for a couple hours before they have to be up here at an hour before the estate sale to get their official numbers. It doesn't seem right to me, does it? Like, especially for people who don't know the system, it seems kind of rigged. I don't know, maybe that's just how I'm looking at things. In Cincinnati, we do have the number system. That makes complete sense to me because it limits the amount of people waiting in line and it makes the entering of the property more efficient. I get that part, but like, the whole list to get on a list thing seems kind of weird. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you have an early bird list to then get on the list to get into the estate sales where you're from?
That's a pretty view.
Okay, we just left that estate sale, and I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed with how that company ran it. I might not go to one of those companies' estate sales again. First off, they had like that early list thing that I talked about earlier, but when we got inside, they had like eBay listings printed out and put next to the items, and they weren't sold listings. They were what people were currently asking for on eBay. Like, that irks me as a reseller, and not only as a reseller, but as a shopper. If I was going there and I saw an eBay listing printed out next to something, like, I wouldn't want to buy it. Like, why would I buy it at your estate sale if I can go get it on eBay, maybe send the person an offer and get it cheaper, and I can have it shipped to me and I wouldn't have to do it myself? And then people have to realize, like, eBay prices are a little bit higher than what they would be at in like an in-person store, because they have to cover fees, they have to cover shipping, they have to cover stuff before the sale is made. Whereas an estate sale company, who only does cash, by the way, isn't having any fees on top of all that. So it's a little bit frustrating when you go there and see that. And it wasn't just like 1 or 2 listings, it was next to a bunch of their items. So they must have looked up pretty much everything in that house. The clothing was marked up, the furniture was marked up, the hard goods were marked up. It wasn't kind of estate sale that I want to go to as a reseller and as a shopper. So I'll probably be avoiding that estate sale company from now on. But that's my rant for now. I'm going to try and find a thrift store around this area and do a little thrift therapy. Okay, so now I'm going to take you through everything that I ended up getting at those estate sales. We did pretty dang good. The majority of this stuff came from the very first estate sale we went to, the one that was on Friday, and then I picked up only one item at the Saturday estate sale. In total, everything ended up coming out to $96, which is a price that I am super happy with, especially considering the quality of items we got. So let's dive into this. So the majority of the items I'm excited about are like soft good items and stuff. So I think I'm gonna go through the hard good stuff first and get that out of the way so we can focus more on the soft good stuff in a little bit. The first 2 items that I ended up picking up were these 2 Kindles right here. This one that's not in the case is a paperweight 5th edition, and it should go between 30 and 40 bucks. And then the one in the case right here is a Kindle paperweight 7th edition and should go anywhere between 40 and 50 bucks. Next up's another electronic. This is a Verizon Ellipsis Jetpack. These usually do decent on my stores. However, this one's a little bit of an older model, so it's not as valuable, but it should still go for right around 15 bucks, I think. Then we have this, the Shield Complete Series, brand new, sealed in the box. Unfortunately, I'm gated on this on Amazon for some reason, but even over on eBay, it looks like this is selling for right around $30. These were pretty cool. These were brand new in the box military goggles. They're like dust goggles for like motorcycles or something. Pretty cool things. They're older looking, so I figured if they were brand new in the box, hey, I'm gonna grab them. You can see the price on them said $2, so why not? I looked them up and they look like they're going for right around 30 bucks. Next, I just picked these up on kind of a whim. They looked pretty cool and there were some interesting pins on the inside, but these are old buttons. I got 3 different bags of them. They're all vintage, like 70s and 80s ones. There's a lot of like presidential pins in there. You can see like Ford 76 right there. There's a bunch of Nixon pins and stuff. But the one that really was catching my eye was this pin right here. Not the I'm a Virgin pin, the Ozark Music Festival pin. I actually seen one or two of those inside these bags, and I think the Ozark Music Festival was a big music festival just like Woodstock and stuff. I think it was comparable to that, so that might have a little bit of value behind it. But I figured if I was going to pick these up, $3 a bag, why not? It might be a fun thing to actually unbox on like a live stream on my channel or something. So if you want to see me go through like all these pins to see what's inside of them, let me know down in the comments. I think it could be fun, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there from various different like presidents and senator electoral processes and stuff. Could be a fun thing to do on stream, so let me know if you want me to do that. Next we have this little guy right here. As you can see, this is a elephant, and it was marked at $3. It's a little paperweight, if you can focus in on that. It was a paperweight and it cost me $3. Now, this isn't normally something I would pick up. However, when I looked at the bottom right there, it says Dansk. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that name stood out in my head for some reason, so that's why I ended up picking this up for $3. I haven't looked it up yet, but Dansk, it just pops out in my head for some reason. Maybe I've sold one of these at some point or something. Actually, let's look it up real fast. Dansk elephant paperweight. Okay, cool. Yeah, so these are selling anywhere between like 20 and 30 bucks, as you can see right here on the phone. So the comps look pretty good. $3 into 20 or 30, I'll take it. And it's a cool little piece, so why not? If you ever see Dansk, I guess it's a bolo. It just stood out in my head. All right, next I guess I'll do the big piece. This piece right here was pretty dang cool. It's the only picture that I got. I wasn't actually planning on buying any pictures or anything while I was down here. However, this one's a little bit different. As you can see, it's a Polo Ralph Lauren advertisement piece, and if you can see down here in the corner, it's actually signed by the artist, Jim Dickinson, and numbered over here on this side right there. Number 34 out of 300. So I ended up picking this up. I actually looked it up after I bought it because I thought it was a pretty unique piece, and Ralph Lauren has some collector's value behind it. And there was one of these sold in the last 6 months, and it was up for $499. Now, it didn't sell for that. It went for a best offer. It had the line through it and everything. However, if I can get anywhere close to that for that, I'm gonna take it. But it might stay in my collection here for a little bit. And what really stinks about this is, in that footage, you might have noticed that I actually pointed out one or two other pieces by the same artist. They weren't signed or anything, and I was gonna grab those ones as well because they were 10 bucks a piece. But when I was taking this picture and the bag of stuff that I had upstairs to set in a pile because I was out of room and couldn't carry the other two pieces, by the time I got back down to the basement, this is like 1 minute later, somebody else had already grabbed the other two pieces. So that kind of sucks, but I'm glad that I got this one. It seemed to be the only one that was signed, so at least I got one of them, and I am excited to see what it's actually worth. Okay, we're starting to get close to the soft goods, but we got a couple more hard good pieces that'll be a good transition into the soft goods, and I guess we'll start with this one right here. I saw this sitting on the table as I was checking out. I had no intention of buying it. It didn't really seem like it was worth much, but I decided just to take a quick little look at it just in case, and it didn't have a price sticker on it, which I think is why a lot of people were passing up on it. But when I looked at it, it says Techno Marine is the brand on there, as you can see on the front, and I was like, that sounds like it could be something. It feels kind of heavy. The band seems really cheap, so it's probably not worth a ton. Decided to look it up real fast, and it looks like new ones were going somewhere around 100 bucks. So I figured, hey, maybe I'll be able to sell this for like 50, 60 bucks. Let's see what it's worth or what they want for it. And I asked the lady, she said $15. So I was like, okay, 15 bucks into 50, 60, I'll do it, why not? Well, I was a little bit off. Because I was in line waiting to check out, I didn't have a ton of time to look this thing up. I was kind of just looking it up as she was ringing the rest of my items out, so I didn't have a ton of time to inspect it. However, when I got home and looked at it, I noticed on the back, it actually says Techno Diamond down here. So that was a keyword that I ended up looking up, and I was pleasantly surprised to find what this watch was actually going for. You know, it doesn't look very expensive. It has like the silica band and stuff, so it threw me off a little bit. But when I looked it up, it turns out that these right here around the bezel are real diamonds. This is a diamond encrusted watch. I am super excited and pretty blown away that it's actually something as valuable as it is, because it doesn't look very valuable, but I'll try to pop a picture of it up over here. I found this exact watch on eBay sold, and it had a best offer taken, so I don't know exactly what it sold for, but it was listed at $397 or something like that. So this could be an awesome find, and the one that was sold didn't have the case, this case right here, or any of these extra bands on the inside. There are 3 different bands for this watch as well. So I'm excited to see what this one's gonna go for. I think I might throw it up at auction. Maybe I won't, and I'll do a little more research on it, but I definitely need to take it to a local jeweler first, get a new battery put in it, and have them test those diamonds on the front, just to be 100% certain that it's legit. This could end up being my best find of the day. So in the clips earlier in this video, you saw me point out that I like to go through drawers and stuff, even if it seems like every other drawer is empty, and this is why. I pulled out some scarves and stuff. Well, also in that drawer was this. This is a Gucci wallet. It is a vintage one. It is in pretty rough shape, but I'm pretty sure it's legit. If we open it up here, it has the monogram down low, if you can see right there in that corner, and on the inside right here, you can see it has a serial number. So I'm going to have to look up that serial number and authenticate this piece. But I mean, if that's legit, I just found a Gucci wallet. That's awesome. And I guess this is time to transition into some of the soft goods. This will be the last hard good that I ended up getting, and this was the only piece that I got at the second estate sale. It is a Tiffany piece, as we can see right here. It's in the Tiffany pouch, and if we take it out here, you can see here is the actual piece. This is a Tiffany key ring. If we look on the tag right here, you can see it says Tiffany down there and it's stamped. This is a sterling silver key ring. It kind of looks like a nipple ring or something. But this is a Tiffany piece. I ended up paying a little bit up for this. I paid 15 bucks for this by itself, and I think this will end up going for right around 50, maybe 60 bucks. I don't really know. I feel like I've seen the key rings go for around there. Who knows, it could be worth a lot more. I haven't looked any of this stuff up really. Speaking of Tiffany stuff, the day before I got this piece right here, at the first estate sale, I got a few more things from Tiffany. These are not the actual Tiffany pieces themselves, but these are the felt holders for various Tiffany pieces. So we've seen that this keychain came in its own little pouch right here. These are the pouches for different things. So for example, this one right here was for a spoon. I've seen these plenty of times at places. Unfortunately, I didn't see the spoons or any of the rest of the silverware out at the actual sale, so that's a little unfortunate, but these bags by themselves can sell for some good money. I'm not sure what the individual spoons ones sell for, but when I looked these ones up at the sale, these are the silverware holder ones. As we can see, there's little slots and stuff for each individual silverware piece, and this is for teaspoons because it's marked on the back, and it looks like this by itself, just this felt cloth right here, was going for around 50 bucks. So I'm happy with that. And we got a second one right here. This one right here also marked Tiffany up in the top of the cloth right there. And on the back, you can see it says it's for knives. So these are both silverware holder pieces, and I think they should go both around 50 bucks a piece. So that's a nice little find. Sticking with the silverware cloths and felt pieces, there are 2 more different brands of stuff that I picked up, or 3 more different brands of felt silver pieces that I picked up. And this one is from Weathered Rice Co. I've never heard of this one. I'm gonna have to do some research on it. But we got 2 different silver cloths from them. Then we've got a silver cover from James Robinson. This was probably for some kind of cutlery. James Robinson, I've again not heard of it, but that tag looks like it is vintage, and it says it's from New York City, so I'm definitely gonna have to look this up. Again, it's just the silverware bag. Don't know what that one will go for. And then finally, I actually have seen this name before. This is a Pacific silver cloth right here. And this again is just to protect and wipe down jewelry or in this case, silverware. And this piece right here, again, should sell for at least something. Silver cloths I've sold in the past. I've sold some pretty obscure name ones and done pretty well on them. So I expect to do pretty well on these ones too. Hopefully the names end up being big names. I'm not really sure yet. Now, along with these silverware cloths and stuff right here, in that same stack of this stuff were these right here. These are a bunch of dust covers for various different name brand products. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but I paid $8 for this entire stack, the silverware cloths and these dust covers. So the dust covers were a Burberry one. This one is a really large one actually, and it has the drawstrings up top. But this is a Burberry dust cover. I don't know what these ones are going to go for. I'm going to have to look up the prices of the dust covers individually. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 different Prada dust covers. These are the like medium ones. They would fit like a shoe or something in there, but they're the medium ones, all from Prada. Again, another very, very good brand to find. Then we've got 1 silk Prada dust cover. Oops, how do I do this? Like this, silk Prada dust cover. You can see down here at the bottom, it does say Prada. Don't know if this one is for something else. I've never seen a silk one like this. I'm not sure what this one will go for. Or what it's used for. I'm gonna have to look that one up separately. Then we've got 2 different Valentino dust covers right here, and I've actually sold Valentino ones before, so I know these ones will sell probably around like the $15 to $20 mark for the 2 of them. So that is an awesome score. Again, I paid $8 for this entire stack of various silver cloths and dust covers. I'm gonna make some good money on those. Now, in that same drawer that I found that Gucci wallet in, I found these. These are actually the thing that caught my eye. These are scarves. Now, I always look up scarves when I'm at thrift stores because there are a few that are worth some crazy money, and we found one of them at this estate sale. But first, we'll go through the other 2 that I got. I got 3 scarves total. First, we got this piece right here. This is from Ralph Lauren. It looks like a vintage one, and it is like this flower pattern right here. Flower pattern. Not sure of the value of older Ralph Lauren scarves. This is one that's going to be a learning piece for me, so I'm going to have to look this up and see what it ends up going for. The next one is by Liberty of London, right there. Again, I haven't sold this brand before, but the scarf is silk and it felt pretty nice, so I ended up picking it up. Again, we'll have to see what that one is actually worth. And then the one that caught my eye, the one I'm super happy about finding, this is an Hermes scarf. Hermes is a crazy brand to find. Their scarves are super sought after and they have a huge collector's market. Now, I'm going to have to research this to make sure it is legit and do all the legit checking and stuff, but this is just a beautiful piece right here. I'll try to get some better shots of it here in a second, but it is in pretty good condition. It did have a few little small marks and stains on it, and I did have to do the initial checks. Now, when you find Hermes scarves, I am a little bit educated on what to look at. Now, as always, I am not like a designer expert. It's not what I focus in. However, with Hermes, I do know to look for the rolled corners like this one has. These are hand-rolled corners. They're not machine stitched, and the logo on the front does look like it is in good shape. However, I do also know there are some other things that you want to look for. With Hermes, there's usually a copyright symbol on the newer pieces. A lot of the stuff that I got here is vintage designer stuff, so I'm not too concerned about it not having a copyright symbol next to the name because the older ones didn't have that. And the other thing that kind of throws up a little red flag in my head, maybe I'm just missing it at this point, but I am not finding the artist's signature anywhere in the artwork, which is something that you want to look for. However, there were a number of artists that I know for a fact that did Hermes designs that didn't sign some of their work, so I'm not too concerned about that one again. So from first glance, everything on this scarf is checking out and seeming pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with this find. Again, I'm going to have to do a ton of research on this because you do not want to be selling counterfeit luxury goods. It's an easy way to lose your account on eBay. So I'll probably end up sending this to a friend or someone who knows what they're looking at, send some detailed pictures to them, make sure it's legit, and then I'll finally list it online. I don't know what this will go for, but the last Hermes scarf that I sold online
was not as nice as this. It had some staining and stuff on it, and I sold it for 250 bucks. Now for the clothing pieces that I ended up getting. I ended up picking up 2 of these Ralph Lauren Christmas sweaters. You can see this one right here in the red and black colorway. This isn't something that I expect to sell this year. I might list them and just to see if they do end up selling, because they are vintage Polo Ralph Lauren, but it's past Christmas, so I might have to hold them on until next season. Who knows, we'll see. And then the other one is this one. It's a little bit more colorful, has the nice patterns on the front. Both of them are pure wool, and both of them have the same tags on them. Again, they're just pretty cool pieces. I don't know what these will go for, but I just picked them up because they will sell during Christmas season 100%. Then we've got this. This is an Orvis fishing vest. I always pick up Orvis fishing vests. It's not a brand that I overly look for, but if I do find like their fishing gear or some of their more specialty items, clothing items, I will pick them up. And fishing vests and like photography vests and stuff are one of the things that I look for. This piece right here should go probably around $40-ish, 30 to 40 bucks, somewhere in that range. Then we've got a women's shirt. This is one of the only women's brands that I like actively look for any piece of hers. Eileen Fisher is a great brand to look for. They sell very, very frequently on eBay. And this one right here is like a longer blouse, and it's a button front one, sleeveless, almost like a dress. And I don't know what this one will go for. I'm gonna guess probably around 30 bucks. In this trunk in the basement, I don't know if I got footage of it or not, you might have seen it earlier, there were a bunch of sweaters and skirts. Now, I don't do a ton of women's clothing like I just said, but this piece right here is a women's skirt, and the only reason I picked this one up was because it is vintage Pendleton, if you guys can see the tag right there. Vintage Pendleton stuff sells very, very well, and this is a pure wool skirt, and pure wool Pendleton stuff always sells super well. You can sell like the flannel shirts and stuff for between $30 and up to like $100. So I'm definitely gonna have to look this up. It looks like it has some age to it, and it's in pretty good condition. So we'll see what that ends up going for. And then in that same trunk, we had one sweater that we ended up pulling out. There was a bunch of vintage sweaters. If I was back in Cincinnati, I probably would have bought the whole trunk, but since we're limited on space down here, I only picked up this one piece right here. This is the Scotch House pure cashmere sweater. I didn't look it up, it just says pure cashmere, and cashmere stuff sells at a minimum of like 20 bucks, so I grabbed this one. This isn't the original bag. You can see the name on the bag is different than the actual brand's name, so it's not new, but it should still sell really well. And the final piece that I ended up picking up were these. These are snow pants. They are Patagonia snow pants. They're fleece lined on the inside, as you can see right here. They're vintage, probably from the 90s, I would guess. And I expect these to probably go around the probably $40 mark or something like that, right around that area. And that's everything that we ended up picking up this weekend. I am really, really happy with the quality of stuff that we got. We got a ton of stuff from that first estate sale, and we weren't even like first in line. I think we ended up being like number 26 or something like that. So we were pretty far back, and I spent under $100 on everything there. If this stuff that is designer ends up being legit, I'm going to make some very, very good money. And even if it's not legit, on everything else that I ended up picking up, I'm still gonna be in plenty of profit. Very, very cool finds. We got stuff from luxury designer clothing to old vintage buttons to an awesome watch, that awesome poster. Really, really happy with the hauls in this video. So if you guys liked this video as much as I liked picking up this stuff, please leave me a comment down below of what your favorite piece is that I got. Also, if you do like this kind of content, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more. I do a ton of estate sales just like this one. And as always, until next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.